So what we're doing here is we've got a few of the GTX parts. We've got some of them in the booth already. We're final sanding these 320 and 500, looking over all the edges, looking for pinholes, things like that. And then these are going to go in the booth and get painted this week. So we mix all our own products here. We've got the new Paint Manager XI system here. Makes it real easy. It shows me all my targets and my mix percentages, my accuracy, everything. So we're mixing up some GTX red. We've got the GTX parts in the booth right now. We're going to get spraying them tomorrow morning, first thing.
Buick Elro. It's got a 455 turbo 400 in it. We're taking that out. It's getting a GM Performance LS3, CVF front drive, vintage air, quick wire kit, QA1 front and rear. It's getting a 9-inch in the back, a set of Buick specialty wheels. We're going to do the gaps panel to panel, and we're going to paint it. The inside's going to stay Barry Manilow style on the inside. Nothing too fancy inside. He wants it to be a really nice cruiser inside.
Sanding the jams, getting it ready for paint. After the jams are done, we'll be doing the quarters and the roof and everything else, and getting it ready for paint, and then we'll be going to the bottom, and the bottom we'll be getting bed lined and sanding my life away one day at a time.
So what I'm doing here is we got to wipe all these panels down. We start with a water-based cleaner, and then we go to a solvent-based cleaner. So we clean the panels physically before we clean them chemically. So what we're going to do first, we're going to put some epoxy down as a sealer. We use epoxy as a sealer because there's a lot of reasons that it's far superior to the typical urethane sealers that like most collision shops use. A lot of reasons for that, but if you want the reasons, you can watch all the YouTube videos. But today we're going to spray, this is DPLV 50 as a sealer out of a LS400 NTEC. So here we've got our base coat. This is R6 Scorch Red. This is a correct color for this 69 GTX, so we're going to go in and start spraying base. Ready to paint the engine bay, the jams. We painted a batch of the loose parts today. We jammed them. This is a candy base coat. So right now we're getting to spray Cerakote on some headers for the Camaro that we're doing. This is basically really high temp resistant paint, more or less. It's not really paint, but it's kind of a crossbreed between like a powder coat and a paint. Really good for high temp applications, so we're going to give it a try on the Camaro headers. So now we're getting ready to start clear. We're going to do 4 coats of BC 5700 on this, on the LS 400.
So we got an LT1 here, LT4 hot cam, ported heads, ported intake, going in the 95 Camaro, put it on the cradle, get it bolted in there, and put the rest of the car back together.
Alright, what we got here is the power control arms, strut rods, steering gearbox, steering linkage, K-frame, 69 GTX. We'll get it all cleaned up, ready for paint. Got new bushings in it already. The control arms. Need some strut rod bushings yet.
That's him. So they're at an angle.
Here we've got the 70 Chevelle. We've been doing a lot of work on this week. I haven't really been able to get a lot of it actually on footage though. But this week we finished up doing gaps on this. Panel fitment, setting up for body work. We're gonna be stripping this car. This car was built a few years ago, and the owner just wasn't happy with the way the panels fit and the overall appearance of the car. We've done QA1 suspension on this. We put a TKX 5-speed in it. We are going to be pulling the 454 out and kind of refreshing a few things on that. We would disc brake conversion. We put 2023 or 2022 Camaro seats in this car. They're not in it at the moment, but that's all been fit in there. It's the seats and console from a 2022 Camaro. We're doing Dakota Digital, TMI door panels and all that. Just a real nice Restomod driver sort of car, but as you can see, we've got the gaps looking real nice. We shoot for 3/16 gaps. We do a lot of welding, cutting, welding, grinding. Both fenders, we actually had to cut the spot welds on the skin along the hood and raise the fender skin to match the hood. The whole front end of this car is aftermarket sheet metal. But as you can see, we got everything fitting pretty good. The headlight buckets fit nice. Aftermarket core support as well. So down in here, to get the headlights to be centered in the openings, we actually had to cut this entire section out of the core support and move it over to make the headlights centered, because Chevelle headlights were never really centered. The other side we got by adjusting some things pretty well, which made this side way off, so we had to cut that all, move that over. But as you can see, we've got these gaps looking pretty nice. The next step for this is going to be coming back into that bay. Once the GTX is going in the booth, this is going to go back in the real dusty bay, and we're going to strip this and get epoxy on it and start doing a lot of blocking. So we're getting ready to install the new dash pad into the Camaro. This was actually donated from another Camaro we're building that we are putting a Cadillac dash in. This piece was really nice out of that car. And this one was, as you can can see destroyed on the floor. So this one is going to go in there. This is the 69 Camaro we've been working on for quite a while now. We're just finished it up. This is actually headed back to Arizona. It's gonna get assembled, built in Arizona. It's getting a 902 horse 427. This is a Dick Harrell tribute car. We did extensive work everywhere to this car. We did a Detroit Speed Quadrolink rear end, custom subframe connectors, there's carbon fiber inner fenders, all the gaps, panel to panel, body and paint on the rotisserie. The stripes also go along the bottom. There's lettering on the bottom. This is going to be a really nice car. I'm excited to see this one get assembled and come back to us for final buff and go to some shows. This is a real nice car right here.